Hello everybody, I'm Adrian, and behind me I got my C7 Corvette. So today it turned 50,000 miles. So I'm going to give a review on what the car has been like for the 50,000 miles. So when I bought this car, it had 7 miles. So this was order that I ordered, and I got it red with red seats. So I changed the color to turquoise because I'll be probably keeping this car forever. Unfortunately, the C8s are automatics, so I'm really disappointed about that. So I'll just be keeping this car forever. I can't see myself giving up the manual. But I do got an order on the C8 C06 though. That thing's gonna be an amazing car, but I think this is the perfect daily driver. So that's what I use this car for, and the C06 will probably be just like a weekend car. All right, so let's talk about it from the very beginning. So originally I was going to get a C6, but when I saw this car released, I liked the way how they were turning into the more exotic kind of look, and I really liked that they changed the transmission, because the C6 had a 6-speed and this one has a 7-speed, and I like how they incorporated the rev match. So that was like an extra bonus. I did wait 1 year. I didn't want to get a 2014 because I wanted them to have time to work out the bugs, work out the issues, and at the same time there were no deals going on during 2014. Some dealerships were actually asking a markup, so by waiting 1 year I was actually able to get a $5,000 discount, so that was great. So this one's a 2015. And let's move on to the reliability. So this car has had really only one problem. I made a video about it. Did have to replace one wheel bearing. I actually did it myself, so I saved on the labor, the diagnostics, and all that kind of stuff. Other than that, it's had a couple other glitches. The instrument cluster has glitched out where it lights up like a Christmas tree, but all I had to do there was just shut the vehicle off and restart it. That's happened maybe 2-3 times in the last 50,000 miles. So I would say this car has been a great car in terms of reliability. And talking about economy mode, that's another great thing about this car. Now with fuel prices rising shortly, not too long ago it was $5 for premium. So having a vehicle that gets amazing fuel economy, it's actually a huge benefit. Something I didn't think about it beforehand when I bought this car. I didn't buy it for the fuel economy, but now that fuel prices have gone up so much, I actually really appreciate the great fuel economy that this car gets. I've taken this car on long trips, just cruising on the highway, and I'm able to get 30 up to 32 miles to the gallon. I don't really drive this car on eco mode, but I did try it out just to see what kind of fuel economy I can get, and I've gotten as much as 35 miles per gallon. So that's definitely really good for sure. I think this car is so fun to drive with the manual transmission. Just working it through the gears and just doing the downshifts. Because I grew up, I learned driving a manual, and throughout my whole life I've always had manual vehicles. And to me, it just brings a different driving experience. I feel more involved in the drive, more control. Originally, when I bought this car, I had an intention of trading it in for the next generation. But when I saw the C8 released, I was extremely disappointed. I still am, that they give up the manual transmissions. So that's really the only reason why I'm not driving a C8, because I'm not gonna give up the manual transmission. But I'm in a point now where I'm able to afford the C8 at the same time, so I do got a deposit on the C06. but that'll be like my weekend car probably, and this one be my daily driver, just because I think it's a perfect daily driver. The C8 also looks kind of complex to work on. I like to work on my own cars, and that's another great thing about this car. So I do my maintenance on this car. I've done the coolant flush, I do the oil changes, the transmission, the differential, brake fluid flush. So I've done all those services myself, just because on this car I find it really easy to do it. I got a lot of access, so for me I think it's a really practical car. I don't know how low the C8 will be, but on this car I think they made it perfect for the ride height. I'm able to back up into a curb and not scrape the bumpers. So that's another thing they thought about the car when they engineered it. They gave it just the perfect ride height. So one of the reasons that I decided to just wrap it is because I've had it for several years now, and I thought it was time for a change. So since I'll be keeping this car for a long time, then I figured I'd give it a try. I did the wrap myself, just something I want to go ahead and give it a try. Maybe later might do a different color, but I picked turquoise just because it's a color I wish they would bring back into the Corvettes. So I know 50,000 miles might not sound like a huge deal, but I looked up for the cars of my year 2015, and I have more miles than more than 90% of the cars that are listed for sale. So yeah, that was a short review on what the car's been like during its 50,000 miles. It's been an amazing car, very reliable, and I plan to keep it for a long time. You got any other questions, any other suggestions, let me know. And like and subscribe and stay tuned. Hopefully I get that C06 soon. And I'm really looking forward to how that car will perform. So thanks for watching.